Afternoon and welcome to Berwick Mitsubishi. My name is Mark and I'm going to take you for a walk around our 2013 model Holden Commodore SV6 Series 2 sedan today. We'll start off at the front of the car, and I will highlight that obviously it's been a country car, so there are a few stone chips that have been touched up. They probably could have got the colour of the touch-up paint a little more accurate, but probably something I'll approach with our service department at some stage after this video. As you can see, we've got factory driving lights in the front bumper there, and apart from those few touch-ups, a couple on the front guard there as well. The presentation's fairly good. Factory alloy wheels, as you can see, tyres are as new, not a scratch on the alloy. Our Z series badging in the bottom of our front guard, and obviously being the Z, colour-coded exterior mirrors and door handles, and coming down the driver's side of the car, the presentation is very good. You know, obviously I can't really see a mark apart from this little one just on our rear bumper there, which should have probably been addressed during its preparation, and we'll certainly address that at some stage with a bit of touch-up paint. The right-hand rear alloy wheel had a very slight scratch on it, but once again, just being fairly pedantic, pointing out exactly everything about the car to you. As we come around to the rear of the car, factory spoiler. You notice that it is LPG by the badging, vapor injection LPG from factory. We've got colour-coded reverse sensors. Does also have a reverse camera, which we'll touch on a little bit later. Also, as you can see, we've got our tow bar on the rear, which gives us the ability to tow 2.1 tonne when required. And as we move around to the passenger side of the car, once again, fairly consistent presentation. A touch-up just on our left-hand rear guard there. Obviously these little cosmetic things, we're happy to point them out to you so there are no surprises when you arrive to drive the car and own it. No scratches on our left-hand rear alloy wheel, and as we scan down the passenger side of the car, apart from that touch-up there, just a very minor little mark on our front guard there, which was just a matter of me rubbing the polish off, and then not a scratch on our front alloy wheel, and actually by the look of it they are brand new tyres on the front of the car as well. So apart from the few minor touch-ups the car's had, which is consistent with its age, the exterior presentation's quite good. So back around at the front of the car, as we briefly mentioned on the walk around, dedicated gas from factory. So still a 3.6 litre, being the dedicated gas, it gives us 180 kilowatts of power, 320 newton meters of torque, and your fuel consumption is 12.3 litres combined per 100 k's. It might sound a little bit high being a V6, but bear in mind it's dedicated gas, so your fuel consumption or running costs for this particular car are extremely cheap. Back around at the rear of the SV6 now, we'll have a little bit of a look at the storage area. Obviously slightly different to your standard car being dedicated gas. There isn't a spare. Just quite a large storage area, obviously all of the gas unit underneath our carpet cover. Pay attention to how well it presents as well, really well maintained. So inside the SV6 now, I'm really impressed with the way it looks. You know, the interior presents really well. Auto headlights on our right hand side, cruise control on our indicator stalk, height and reach adjustable steering wheel. Look at the condition of it. Car's done 114,000 Ks. If you looked at the steering wheel, would you think it's done that many Ks? Probably not. On the right hand side of our wheel, we've got volume control there. Got our button for our Bluetooth. It does have a navigation button, but there is no satellite navigation installed in this car. It was an option from factory. Audio control here, trip computer as well, and then our little knob to change between radio stations or tracks if we're playing a CD. Moving into the centre section now, our air conditioning vents, obviously we've got it running at a fairly high speed being a warm day in Melbourne. Just have our FM station up there. As we mentioned earlier, factory reverse camera, even indicates where our tow bar is as well. And then put it back into park, 6-speed auto. Our master controls for our audio, then our dual zone climate control air conditioning controls there as well. 6-speed auto, of course. We can drive it in sports mode if we want to. Just flick it to the left and change by the lever itself. all of our controls for our exterior mirrors and windows with our handbrake on our right hand side. Cup holders directly behind that. Just make sure you're paying attention to how well this car presents. Inside there, we've got our auxiliary and 12-volt outlet as well. And then moving around the interior, once again, being a Z series, we've got leather bolsters on all of our seats, factory car mats as well, leather inserts in our door trims as well, 6 airbags giving us a 5-star ANCAP safety rating also. And the only other thing to touch on, last but not least, really good service history. Every 15,000 Ks pretty much stamped in the book. Up to the current intermediate service as well. A lot of the servicing's been done locally, just over at Berwick Service Centre. So we even had them do the current service as well. So servicing's all the way up to date. So I hope this has given you a really good idea of the quality of this SV6 dedicated gas. 180 kilowatts of power, 320 Newton meters of torque, delivering 12.3 litres combined per 100 Ks, bearing in mind it is dedicated gas, so super cheap to fuel, super cheap to run. Give us a call on 99070555 and one of our staff will be able to help you further. It might even be me.